What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Flash video. So we've got an episode tonight, and well, I am super excited for this because we've had no Supergirl this week, which sucks, and I'm a bit confused why these American shows go on so many bloody breaks. I mean, when you get Doctor Who, we have them on a continuous run for the entire run of the season, so whatever, enough on that. So we've got a very interesting episode tonight. We've got a whole thing set inside the Speed Force as Wally has been trapped inside that has been sent there by Savitar after the last episode, which ended on a very cool note and was very reminiscent of the Crisis on Infinite Earth ending where Barry was taken into the Speed Force. Well, we didn't know that at the time. We obviously thought that he had died, but Speed Force is always fun. Obviously, last season we had the Runaway Dinosaur episode, which was interesting, but didn't utilise the Speed Force enough for my liking, and we've had some very interesting promotional images. We've also had the executive producer say some very interesting things, and it looks like Barry could be trying to sacrifice himself here. So let's take a look at the synopsis for this upcoming episode. Barry turns to the Speed Force. Desperate to stop Savitar and save his friends, Barry turns to the Speed Force for answers. HR gives Jesse some advice, and well, there's not a whole lot there to actually go on, but what's interesting here is that Barry is turning to the Speed Force for the answers, so it does obviously look like Barry's going to go in or attempt to enter this Speed Force to try and find out just what is happening, because obviously Savitar is in this Speed Force prison, which I'm guessing is not liking it too much, and well, one person must always stay where he is, and it does kind of look like Savitar is grooming Wally for this life of being trapped in there, and Savitar wants to take his revenge on Barry. Now, the Speed Force is a very, very odd place. It's quite different to what it is in the comics. In the comics, it's a kind of weird sort of thing we saw in the first image I had in this video of a lightning storm, etc. But in New 52, it was kind of expanded, and lots of things were taken due to the Speed Force, and we had like a huge warship in there, and all this kind of weird stuff in there. So it seems like this episode is going to focus on Barry going in there and seeing things from his past. We have got Ronnie Raymond turning up. We also notably have Eddie Thorne as well. So it looks like he's trying to have to sort of meta-textually, all this kind of weird craziness, try and work out how to fix things by fixing his own past. And we also have got images of the Jay Garrick in there as well. So I'm not sure if Jay Garrick is actually going to be one of these Speed Force projections, or if he's actually going to be himself and helping Barry out, which I would highly, highly think about. But it begs a question, and some interesting comments have actually been made by Andrew Kreisberg. So let's have a look. So Andrew Kreisberg has said, Barry was so busy trying to save Iris, he didn't realise it was Wally he should have been protecting. That's going to lead Barry to risk everything to go into the Speed Force to get him back. But someone always has to be trapped in the Speed Force prison. So the question in that episode becomes, is Barry going to sacrifice himself for Wally, and how are they going to get Wally out? Which, this does make a lot of sense, and Barry will, of course, have some huge survivor's guilt about what has happened here and want to do all he can. He goes on to say that he's willing to make the ultimate sacrifice when he enters the Speed Force. Barry is willing and wants to stay and replace Wally in the Speed Force forever. He thinks it's what he deserves to spend the rest of eternity in the Speed Force, which would make a lot of sense, but I can't really see Barry sacrificing himself so early on in the show. And really, I think this would probably be a huge cliffhanger for the end of the season, and would possibly be something which would lead into season 4 with Barry trapped in there. But we have also already had similar stories, and I can't imagine that it would be a very exciting first few episodes if it was for Team Flash to try and actually get him back. Now, I do actually think that someone will get trapped in the Speed Force here in some way, shape, or form, and then we can lead into the Crisis on Infinite's sort of storyline where we see Wally come back, just like we saw in DC Rebirth. Now, if you're interested in will DC Rebirth storylines come to the Flash, well, I do have a video on my channel, and it is in this Flash playlist as well, so you can go and check that out. But I think that Barry will do all he can to try and get him back. But the show's creators have actually said that this is the Flash and not Kid Flash. So Barry won't be the one leaving the show for Wally West to take over and fix everything. And I think that Barry probably won't actually save Wally this episode, and it will lead into the last few episodes, which I think would be good, and it would heighten the drama for the next few episodes. So no, I don't think Barry will actually sacrifice himself. He'll want to, he'll try, but it won't work. So that's it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.